So if you're watching this video and you're thinking about a scenario where you feel like you've just sent the wrong message or you've done the wrong thing, maybe it was a woman that you were dating for a while, you called it off, and now actually you would like to reconnect with her, I'm going to be giving you some advice in this video to create a step-by-step message that will be really effective in terms of reinitiating that contact. However, before we go into that, I just want to double check before you send this message that there's two things that are okay. First of all, I want you to ask yourself, have I really messed it up with her? If a woman just hasn't responded for like 24 or 48 hours, I would probably just leave that situation be. A lot of the time, we can find ourselves over-analysing into messages when we really like someone, and sometimes it will make the situation seem worse than it is. If you're reading back on the last message you sent her, and there wasn't a direct question in it or a real need for her to respond, then I would give it a couple more days and then reinitiate with something that's quite neutral. Secondly, before you proceed, of course, I want you to think, is this woman worth recontacting and making this effort to go and reinitiate things with? If perhaps your dating life is just looking a little bit empty at the moment and you're thinking, well, maybe I should have kept dating that woman, then that isn't really a good reason to restart things. Often if you do reach out and reconnect, it's going to be very easy for her to read into that there's another layer of meaning or that you feel there's special connection to her. So if that isn't the case, or it was just a woman you went on a couple of dates with who seemed like really your type, but then it fizzled out, I'd encourage you in both of those scenarios just to let this one go. Both in the case that perhaps there's not much going on in your dating life at the moment and you're thinking about kind of going back to old leads, or you haven't met a woman you were as attracted to as this woman, even though you only had a couple of dates with her. I think that's still coming from a space of a bit of scarcity, where instead of rather than going to all the effort to reinitiate a message with her, it's going to probably be wiser to spend that time and energy actually going out there and meeting some of the other amazing women that there are for you. So if you do definitely think that you've messed it up, and if you're certain that it's the right situation where you want to reach out to her, let's look at a step-by-step process about how you can craft an amazing message to her. And also, if you want to learn more about crafting amazing messages, I'm actually doing a free online training on December the 12th around how to become masterful at messaging. To join, all you need to do is register using the link in this video. So maybe I'll see you there. So looking at what is a right message to send when you feel like you've messed it up with a woman. Okay, so let's start with some information about this. During lockdown, I have literally had some female friends and clients who have got 10 plus messages from old flames kind of crawling and creeping back into their lives. So it's no surprise really that if you do send a message to a woman you've messed it up with that's kind of meaningless or a bit bland, that it's likely to be met with being ignored. I even heard of one guy who sent a woman a message saying, I just ordered Deliveroo and it made me think of you. I mean, is it really surprising that she didn't want to get back to that message, that didn't inspire any great romance for her? As you can see, unusually, I'm actually holding my laptop in front of me for this section because I've spent time working on this message and I want to read it to you perfectly first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a really good message to send to that woman, and then we're going to go through the structure of it, so then you can create your own message that's based on this. So my message that I'd suggest sending to a woman you've messed it up with. Hey Em, I'm not sure if this message is expected or not, but I've wanted to reach out for a while. I'll be honest with you, I've been thinking about you a lot. You have every right to ignore this message, and if you do, I'll make sure not to message again. But if you're open to it, maybe I could give you a quick call this weekend. ? Your name, one kiss. So we're now going to break down why that style of message is going to be effective. And obviously this message would suit a scenario where you've been dating someone for an extended period of time. It's pretty heavyweight. If you haven't, you're going to want to keep it shorter and lighter in tone. So first section, hey Em, I'm not sure if this message is expected or not, but I've wanted to reach out for a while. So what we don't want you to look like is like that Deliveroo message guy who's clearly just taking a chance to message. He's going back through his WhatsApp, isn't he? And looking for anyone who he may be able to reinitiate things with, and that's going to come across badly. Instead, you want to put across the fact that you have been contemplating messaging someone for a while, so the message has some context. Then it goes, I'll be honest with you, I've been thinking about you a lot. You can even just say, I've been thinking about you, that might be better. So this part of the message is all about communicating honesty and vulnerability. It's quite courageous. It's like you're just going right out there and showing her what you're thinking and feeling, but you're not doing it in a lame way, you're doing it in a way which I think is quite strong. And I think the directness of you just laying your cards on the table is going to be received well by her. You have every right to ignore this message. When you say this, you're also giving her a bit of a get out clause. And you might be thinking, Hayley, why would I want to give her a get out clause? Well, the thing is, if you want her to respond, you don't want to be like, I'm holding a gun to your head, you've got to respond to me. Instead, you want to show that, you know what, you understand that things didn't work out very well in the past and that she's justified in not getting back to you. That showing that you understand where she's coming from is going to be really super valuable. Next part of the message. And if you do, I won't message again. So this is quite good. This is like your limited time offer that you're putting into your message. Because what it's demonstrating is you're not going to be that guy who she just hears from every 2 or 3 months who's just constantly orbiting around in the background. You're making one strong move forwards, and if she doesn't reciprocate, you're going to move on to pastures new. And that's actually going to be really valuable to you in terms of putting across to her why she should message you back. So she understands that she's got this one opportunity now to rekindle, and if not, you're going to go and focus on the rest of your life, which is also the healthy and right thing for you to do. But if you're open to it, maybe I could give you a quick call this weekend. So the last part of the message, I'm putting my laptop away now, is all about creating an action step for how to move forward. So now in modern times, as we know, lots of people don't necessarily feel comfortable with chatting on the phone. If you can chat on the phone though, compared to messaging, it's way more personal, it's going to create more impact, and it's probably going to be more likely to lead to you actually being able to meet in person. However, if she doesn't feel comfortable having a phone call with you, it's also a good opportunity for her just to choose to message back because she doesn't want you to ring her. So hopefully this message chunks down what will be effective tools to help you to reinstigate contact with women that you really like. But as I said, just please be conscious that to ask yourself, have I really messed this up? And is this a woman I'm sincerely and genuinely, and it makes total sense for me to continue to pursue? If it's not, this message is strong stuff. So please don't use it willy-nilly. I would not appreciate that. And also, if you can use the elements of this message that I've just broken down to create your own version of this message, it's going to be, again, more effective and more natural because it's coming from you. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like, a comment, share, subscribe to my channel. I've got tons of advice for you on text messaging, and I hope to see you again very soon.